Grubby is hosting a $10,000 tournament sponsored by Blizzard. He invited 8 streamers and content creators to start their Warcraft 3 journey, and yesterday was the start of it. The participants come mostly from League of Legends, like the previous participant Tyler1, Dantes, the Lost Ratones coach, Yamato Cannon, German caster legend Maxime, and Mary Maybe. They get joined by the Age of Empires world champion in Hera, Mario 64 speedrunner Simply, and Path of Exile creator Pox. In the beginning of the training, players made hilarious mistakes.
No! Yeah, that was bad.
But they now turned into serious competitors, showed great skills, great passion for the game. For day one, Grubby split the 8 players into 2 teams. There was Team Alpha with Tyler1, Yamato Cannon, Simply, and Mary Maybe. The other team was Team Omega with Hera, Pox, Maxime, and Dantes. For the games, the teams had to decide who gets to play in 2 1-on-1s and who competes in 1 2-on-2. All 4 of them, of each team, was then also competing in a 4-on-4 match. To kick things off, both teams decided to send in their weakest link to the initial 1-on-1. Mary Maybe versus Dantes. Both hover around 500 MMR and had very limited time leading into the event. But during the final sprint, Soul Apeman picked both of them up, coached them, and taught them one specific strategy that is easy to execute but still powerful. Mary Maybe plays Orc and opens with Blademaster Mirror Image plus Headhunters for creeping and to create a Blademaster monster that can carry her in the late game fights. Dantes, on the other side, after long discussions, agreed to pick up Soul's favorite, the Dark Ranger, to slow down the opponent, while he himself techs up to the mighty Frostworms that carried him already in previous Warcraft 3 show matches like the FFA. While everybody expected Mary to play things slow, she shook the Warcraft world, and Dantes with an old school Firelord tower push. She got Dantes on the edge of defeat and even taunted him a little bit. Unfortunately, she forgot to produce new units, floated a lot of gold, and finally, Dantes Frostworms comes in to save the day. Mary didn't give up though, started to spend her gold finally, and knowing that the original gold mine was about to run out, both players started to think about expansions. Dantes established 2 of them actually for the higher income, while forgetting to skill his heroes. Mary on the other side, watch yourself.
I don't know the peons.
No, no.
Meme of the year right here. Absolute cinema in the 1-on-1. With the additional income of Dantes, he builds an army, sweeps Mary in the late game. Great fights, great game for Mary though. She could have finished Dantes off, but not spending her gold, and the strong undead base prevented further damage. We go on map 2, and Mary starts strong again, showing off great creep techniques that she learned from her coaches. This time, she decided to not rush with towers, but build a huge army of headhunters, rock-solid counters to Dantes Frostworms. If Dantes now stubbornly continues to build his favorite unit, he would lose to Mary's target fire. But, to the surprise of everyone, Dantes shows strategic brilliance. Goes into abominations, tanky frontliners that counter Mary's headhunters. Even though the Blademaster of Mary goes into a killing spree, Dante's chunky boys can connect to the fragile backline of Mary, while at the same time the beloved Frostworms find a unique way to add insult to injury. Dantes takes an impressive 2-0 victory and a 1-0 lead for Hera's Team Omega before we go into the 2-on-2. To the surprise of many, Tyler1 puts himself into the 2-on-2 alongside their strongest player Yamato Cannon. 2 alpha males with great understanding of the game who would have probably been great contenders for the remaining 1-on-1 as well. Meanwhile, Hera saves himself for the 1-on-1 and sends in Warden player Pox and the Pally Rifle player Maxime. A combo that usually shouldn't work in the 2-on-2. But, coached by Smurf and Kevin, Maxime and Pox come up with a surprising twist. The Path of Exile specialist, with hundreds and thousands of games in Warcraft 3 custom games, switches it up, goes Potom and Huntress. The Potom buys time for Maxime to get the Pally Rifles online. It's a great way of supporting each other. Tyler and Yamato combine their regular 1-on-1 strategies, Rifle Caster and the Orc tier 3 rush into Tauren and Witch Doctors. Great support units as well. The initial fight happens in a choke point, and that didn't favor Team Omega at all. It was all clumped up, the hunters couldn't get into positions, the rifles were exposed, but eventually they start to break through and start sieging Team Alpha's base with Ancient Protectors. While Tyler's build is strong on paper, it takes a long time to get online, and just a bit too long in this case. The Tauren are getting picked up one by one, the Witch Doctors aren't there yet, and that is another victory for Team Omega. After the game, Yamato's coach Leon jumps into the communication and shows Team Alpha the way. The army composition of Pox and Maxime doesn't have much dispel, and humans have a slow ability. So applying that, and to get into that stage of the game, Tyler1 is switching it up as well. No more Blade Master, we get Farseer with summons, a lot more stability in the early game, and at the same time slowing down Maxime a little bit. This plan works like a charm. Team Omega units can barely move anymore, and they are getting wrecked by a nasty creep jack up top, and Yamato finishes them off with a few great blizzards. Maxime is unable to dodge because everything is slowed. First map of the tournament for Team Alpha, and that is a momentum shift in this entire series. We are down to a deciding game 3. The winners of this map take the entire point for the team. Pox realizes Potom doesn't cut it anymore. We need to switch things up. He throws in the Keeper of the Grove to help in the defenses and help Maxime to get to the critical mass of the Paladin rifle strategy. This works really well. And with the first push of the game, Maxime and Pox destroy Yamato's expansion. They continue to push, try to end the game, but Yamato and Tyler come up with a giga brain play, casting Invisible on Tyler1's Raiders that got Tyler's coach Knopf really excited. Yamato then at the same time holds the push, Tyler destroys the bases, Maxime and Pox in shambles, and the score in the team match is now tied 1-1. This leads us into the 4-4, and man, this was wild. All players fighting on one big map with big armies and tons of space. Initially, this actually goes well. On the lanes, we have Maxime and Hera combining the strength of Pally Rifle with the mobility of Hera's Unholy Aura, and they actually do some great damage to the Mario 64 speedrunners simply. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough, and the rebound hits them hard. Yamato, Tyler, Mary simply gang up and sweep the left-hand side of the map, with Maxime on the receiving end, while Team Omega struggle with the communication, and they can't convince Dantes that winning a team fight is way more important than killing Mary Maybe's Warmill. The momentum of the Alphas continue, 1-0 in the 4-4. On map 2, this plays out pretty similar to map 1, but there were two big changes. A, Dantes is actually present in the team fights, and Pox shows his great understanding of the game. He's switching from Hippogriff Riders to Mountain Giants. These guys are mega tanks, hard to kill, and they disrupt the enemy target fire with the taunt ability. Yamato is doing his best to stem against the defeat with an X-bow. He brings his mortar teams into a great position, doing lots of damage to Maxime's riflemen. But eventually, Hera also goes Frostworms, and that brings the necessary damage. Team Omega ganks up. Together, they sweep Team Alpha off the map. The momentum is broken in the series. It's another 1-1, another deciding game 3. It is now up to Team Alpha to find a solution for Pox's Mountain Giants. And you know, they fight stone with stone. Simply is moving away from his more fragile bears, and he just copies Pox's Mountain Giants. This works so well for multiple reasons. Tyler1 is still going for the Witch Doctors, and they have healing wards. So while Pox's Mountain Giants are getting whittled down and die eventually, Tyler is supporting the Mountain Giants of Simply, and they have almost infinite regeneration. At the same time, Mary Maybe is buffing up the army with Bloodlust for so much damage. Yamato catches Hera's Frostworms on the map, 3 worms down, aerial shackles. This overall is uncounterable at this point. It shows the great value of orcs in the late game stages. Team Alpha, winning both team games, takes it lead 2-1. There is now so much pressure on Hera. The team captain of Team Omega came into the tournament as the huge favorite. He is the world champion of Age of Empires after all. While the initial learning curve was great, he got pretty hard stuck at some point, right? He didn't really listen to his coaches. He tried to brute force himself to become the Invitational's version of happy. And then he got hard stuck at 1300 again. There was no sign of his usual Age of Empires dominance, where he also, by the way, lost in the process. If you win this team game, it's $2,000 for the team members, as well as the right to pick the opponents for the one-on-one tournament. This is pretty big. Despite the stagnant development as a Warcraft player, Hera goes into the match with Simply as quite the favorite. Simply picked up the game really, really fast, coming from Mario 64 speedrunning, showing strong fundamentals, but overall couldn't catch up to the established skills that a Hera, Tyler, Maxime already had. It turns out, though, the early game of their match is a total disaster for Hera. Hera's getting caught on the map by Simply, the damaged ghouls get picked up by the Demon Hunter, and Simply is reading the game extremely well. He shows no fear of Hera's undead base, that is usually very strong, destroys the graveyard, which is a tech requirement for everything that Hera needs in the late game to counter the Night Elf. Hera also has an old habit to build production buildings pretty much further out. That one is getting punished over and over and over, and probably got Grubby a little bit tilted. Out of nowhere though, Hera shows why he's the GOAT in an RTS game and why nobody can defeat him in Age of Empires. After defending nicely in his base, and after this atrocious early game, Simply pushes a little bit too far, and on the retreat, Hera punishes him with a double surround, killing both of Simply's heroes, rising to strong undead levels himself. This is one moment to shift the entire game. Hera's tech tree is finally up, and then eventually it's Coil Nova, game over. On map 2, Simply is trying to recreate the magic of game 1, and he is roaming around the map, but he's unable to find Hera this time. This is now enabling Hera to get the creeping up. He's pulling the ghouls like the Emperor would and rushes into Simply's base, devastating his lumber economy, delaying Simply's tech tree for minutes now, as the Huntress Hall is also missing. An expansion for Simply is on the way. That would be his win condition, and Hera now has to act. There's a big fight for the win on map 2. If Hera breaks through here, the expansion falls. If not, Simply is in a winning position. As so often, the games are decided via hero focus, and while Hera keeps his DK alive at a clutch moment, Simply can't transfer the invulnerability potion to his Demon Hunter because the Demon Hunter is slot starved. The item falls to the floor, so does the Demon Hunter, and Hera ties up the clan war 2-2. Of course, we need a decision, and that is now time for game 5, the ace match. The teams can send whoever they want, no restrictions, and they have to discuss who to send in. For Team Alpha, Tyler1, for once, puts his ego aside and Yamato Cannon joins the lobby. The coach of the League of Legends team Los Ratones showed great skills in 2-on-2 and 4-on-4. He has the highest MMR of all players in the tournament, multiple coaching sessions and hundreds of games under his belt. He is the ace for Team Alpha. For Team Omega, decision isn't that easy. Hera wants to send in Pox to bring in the brilliant Warden that he showed on the ladder before, but as a Path of Exile creator, he has little competitive experience, and Pox showed a few signs of nervousness here during the discussion. So, having been in countless grand finals in an RTS, Team Captain Hera steps up. Despite the slump of the past couple of days, he takes the responsibility for his team, and we have one last deciding battle for the $2,000 and the ability to pick opponents in the one-on-one tournament. Map 1, Hera starting strong. By now, everybody knows Yamato is known for the early expansion play versus undead. So Hera rallies his Death Knight and the ghouls towards the creeping human, catches him, dealing terrible damage in the process, and Yamato is here already delayed by a lot. Yamato shows a couple of nerfs, starts his tech too early. As a human player, for the game plan to function, you need a lot of lumber to build towers and tech to tier 3. But Yamato's worker count is too low, he techs and then can't build the necessary workers. There is a little bit of leeway though. Hera misses his timings, he's idling in the middle of the map, and he's giving Yamato some time to establish a bit of a defense. Eventually, though, Hera pressures on the town hall over and over, and it is in the end a little bit too much. Yamato had to tap out, and this is already quite an upset in the ace match, showing how clutch Hera usually is. Match points for Team Omega now, and we move on to Northern Isles. While Yamato is going for an expansion again, all of a sudden, Hera is showing no signs of the previous pressure and aggression, and he cannot catch Yamato this time during creeping. He arrives too late. When he finally pushes at the second base, Yamato is in position to defend. 5 minutes only. Boom! Yamato smashes Hera here on map 2, ties it up, and the last deciding ace match goes into the last deciding map. Absolute cinema. Who's gonna be able to bring their A game now and secure the victory? Tidehunters is our playground, and Hera fights his stride again. Knowing now how strong the human becomes in the late game, Hera successfully throws waves and waves and waves of ghouls against Yamato's second base position and killed so many footmen in the early game. Unlike in game 1, Hera this time hits his tier 3 timing pretty much perfectly, while Yamato is still struggled to reach his tech and the late game army. Instead, towers are supposed to hold for him. The human is trying everything, but the counterattack is getting defended by many towers of Hera. The castle falls, the damage is too much, and Team Captain Hera secures the win. Absolute cinema once again. Clutch Hera, Captain Hera, win Team Hera. With the win, they can now pick the opponents for the one-on-one tournament. Hera has the first pick, and he could choose the weakest player. That would be Mary Maybe with 500 MMR, but the AoE Goats has other plans.
We had a discussion who gets Yamato. I don't want to be that person. I'm sorry, guys. So I will take the weak link, because that's just best for me. So I'm going to go with, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go with Tyler1.
Yeah, let's go!
Oh, I'm gonna dust your shit.
I love
Wait, first game of the day? Could be first game of the day? Bro, let me start. I'm gonna piss you off at 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're gonna start your day shitty, bro. What an idiot you are. Straight to loser's bracket. I cannot wait.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Pox also shows some guts in selecting the top MMR player Yamato Cannon. Simply is then facing Maxime, and we get a rematch of Dantes versus Mary. This bracket couldn't have been any better, man. I'm so freaking hyped for the games. Hera is back in shape and now again a top contender. Tyler peaks also at the perfect moment. Pox hasn't shown his special cards yet with the Warden and Yamato. He was a bit upset about that loss, and he called his coach Death Note to fix all the problems of today to get back in shape when it matters now. That coaching was rough.
So as soon as your castle is dead, game is over completely.
Yo.
That's a depressing ending.
What the?
The coach didn't even say anything like, but nice try though. He just ends the stream and leaves. Bro, that is freaking coaching aura. There's not, it's not like, but good try, Yamato. You did a few good things. It's like, as soon as you use the castle, it's over. Close this.
Absolute amazing day 1. 45,000 concurrent viewers across all streams. Great play, lots of banter. Overall, just freaking great entertainment, man. The addition this time in the Invitational of having this team match, I praised from the very, very beginning, and it turned out so beautifully. The team balance was superb. The interactions were great as well. So, this is just a tastemaker for what's to come today and tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed our summary here. Of course, we'll be live casting every single day at Back to Warcraft, and we'll try to recap you as best as we can here on the channel, because it's a lot of games. So, follow and subscribe to not miss any of the action. Thanks for watching. Take care.